What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Sailing Tela. Today we're continuing our What You Need to Know series, and we're going to show y'all everything you need to know when sailing into Bermuda. If you like what you see, tap the links to catch our other What You Need to Know videos in this series. So now, let's do it. Come on along with us as we talk sailing into Bermuda and what you need to know.
All right, y'all, for documents, and of course you know right off the bat, first thing you gotta have your good old passport from whatever country you're from. Next thing you gotta do, if you're sailing your boat in here to Bermuda, you gotta go to the Bermuda Department of Marine and Port Services website. And on that there website, y'all, they have an online form. And it's called the Online Yacht Pre-Arrival Form for Sailing Vessels Sailing to Bermuda. You go in there and you click that there link and you put all the information about your vessel, including your MMSI number, radio call sign, all of that good information about your vessel, and that gets you your pre-arrival clearance to sail into Bermuda. And you have to get that done prior to sailing into Bermuda. The other thing you have to do is when you are 30 miles offshore Bermuda, y'all, you have to call and check in with Bermuda radio. Now, if you don't do that, they'll be calling you on the radio, ain't that right, baby?
Oh, yeah, they will. We've heard them doing it.
After you get your initial clearance into Bermuda and you make your initial contact on the radio, once you're outside the town cut channel, you'll recontact Bermuda radio on your VHF and they'll give you the clearance to enter the town cut channel and make sure there's no conflicting traffic coming in and out of the channel, because y'all, it is a very narrow, skinny little channel. Then after you get into the town cut channel and into St. George's Harbor, you take your boat and you head on over to the customs dock. When you get to the customs dock, you gotta check in with customs. And when you get in there, one of the first things they're gonna have you do is they're gonna have you fill out the Customs Traveler Declaration. Now that is one per family. The next thing you're gonna have to fill out is a Department of Immigration Traveler Arrival Form. Now you got to do one of those for every passenger and crew on your vessel. Next thing you got to have when you get over there to that customs office is you got to have all of your documentation for your vessel. You got to have your original current vessel documentation registration certificate. You got to have your proof of liability insurance. You also got to have your ship's radio station license, which has your MMSI and your radio call sign on it. And you also got to have your departure clearance from your last port of departure.
All right, baby, let's talk about inspections. So all vessels coming into Bermuda are subject to inspection. All right, y'all, so let's talk about our awesome, sweet little pets that we like to bring to travel with us. We bring our Delilah girl, she's a 5-year-old collie, with us everywhere we go. She travels and sails aboard Tela with us, and if you are bringing your dog into Bermuda, you are going to want to know this information. So first and foremost, you are going to need the health certificate that is issued by a vet 10 days prior to arrival into Bermuda. Next, you're going to need the rabies certification, and one thing that we were not used to is that you also have to have a statement from the veterinarian from the last port of departure that issued the health certificate, a statement from that veterinarian that says the approved tick treatment has been administered to your pet. All right, now let's talk about the permit process for our Delilah girl.
Now, y'all, for this permit here in Bermuda, you've got to go to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources website, and there's an online permit application, and they're going to have you upload all those documents Amber just talked about and answer some questions. You have to upload all those documents into that system, and it's very important you do this prior to your arrival in Bermuda. And once you get all of those things and all those documents uploaded, they will actually issue you a permit to import your pet into Bermuda prior to your arrival, and they will give you that permit by email, and they tell you to keep the email and print out a hard copy and take the hard copy with you to customs. Now, it's very important that you go online and do that, y'all, because if you don't do that and you show up in Bermuda, it doesn't matter what kind of paperwork you got with your pet can be restricted to remain on the vessel vessel and prohibited from entering the lands of Bermuda. We actually happened to run into a foreign couple, I believe they were from Germany, at the dinghy dock one day, and they saw us with little Delilah and started conversation with us, and they told us their story. And y'all, they said they had all of their paperwork, rabies certificates, health certificates from the vet, all the clearance paperwork up to U.S. standards. They kept saying, we have everything up to U.S. standards. And they showed up here in Bermuda, and they were confused because they didn't speak really good English, and they were trying to ask me, you know, about the process, and they really didn't fully understand why they couldn't bring their dogs into the lands of Bermuda. And after speaking with them, come to find out, yep, you guessed it, they didn't go online to the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and do that online permit process. Even though they had all the paperwork for their dogs up to U.S. standards, dogs were perfectly healthy, the government of Bermuda restricted their dogs to their vessel.
So it's definitely enforced here, the rules that they have about pets.
That's right, y'all.
Baby, why don't you tell us about the anchoring here?
Well, I'd love to do that. Once you get all checked into customs, the next thing you're going to want to know is where you're going to drop the hook at. Here in St. George's Harbor, the harbor is really wide open and spacious. They got two places where you can anchor. One's called the Convict Hole. It's right up there just off of Ordnance Island. And then the other one is out here where we're at, called the Powder Hole. Now, we found the holding here in the Powder Hole to be excellent, y'all. We've had some really strong gusty winds up to like 34 knots since we've been here, and this good old rock and anchor has held Tela firm and steady. Now, there is limited availability to berth your boat along the seawall up off of Ordnance Island, and that is controlled by Bermuda Yacht Services. So if you want to try to get a spot to tie up on the wall and not drop the hook, you need to contact Bermuda Yacht Services. Next up, you're probably wondering about fuel. Now, there's one place to get fuel here in St. George's, and that is a service station that has a seawall that you can pull up to. Got good fenders out there, and that's called Dowlings. So get all your fuel at Dowlings here in St. George's Harbor. You sure are pretty.
Well, thank you, baby. All right, y'all, I think it's time we talk about where to provision, where to get your groceries from. So the option here in St. George is the St. George Supermart. They've got plenty of everything that you need, but there are a lot of other boats in and out of here that are also provisioning. So if you can't find what you need, you might need to head over to Hamilton. It's kind of the same store. It's called Hamilton Supermart, but they actually have double or maybe even triple the amount of items over there. And we've been over there quite a few times, grabbed a lot of stuff that we needed there. So Hamilton Supermart is great, but you also have one here in St. George's. Additionally, if you want more specialty, organic, all natural type products, then you're gonna wanna go over to the Island Pantry. It's kind of like a boutique grocery store. It's pretty small, but they really have a lot of specialty items, lots of unique coffees and wines, and just lots of organic, neat little things there. So if you are looking for those specialty things, definitely head over to the Island Pantry over in Hamilton.
Now let's talk about laundry. Where are you going to get your dirty laundry done? Now here in St. George's, they got one laundromat. And at this here laundromat, you got to have one of those laundry cards, and you got to pay $5 to get the laundry card, and it's only Bermuda dollars, y'all. You got to have a Bermuda $5 bill, get you one of those laundry cards. Then you got to put money on it. And they got machines right there, and you put in $5, $10, or $20 bills, and that's the only bills the machine takes, and those got to be in Bermuda dollars too. And once you do all that, deal with those machines and get your card all loaded up with money, and then you're ready to commence washing. Now, if I'm being honest, the machines and the dryers in this laundromat here in St. George, best way I can put it, y'all, is they're hit or miss. There's a couple of machines that are good on the washing side, and there's a couple of machines on the dryer side that are really good. And then some of the others are not so good. And they either won't get your clothes clean on the washer side, or you'll be pumping your card in and out of that machine on the dryer side all day and your clothes still gonna be wet. So it's kind of a learning process, and my best advice to you is to, on the washing machine side, there's some great big commercial washers on the end of the row of washing machines, and they're a little bit more expensive, but I would use the stainless steel looking commercial washers to wash your clothes in. We found those to be the best washing machines.
Yeah, they are.
And the little trick on the dryers, y'all. Now, you got to go to the dryers and you got to stick your hand on the dryer door, even if it's somebody else's while their clothes are in there, and you got to feel the door and see which ones are the hottest. And them dryers with the hottest door, the ones you got to sit there and wait on. Wait for whoever's using it to get their clothes out and then put yours in there. Because if you don't, trust me, it's going to be a very expensive lesson for you.
Well, that's right, baby. Now let's talk about our absolute favorite coffee and Wi-Fi place here in St. George's. Oh my goodness, y'all. The Frequency Cafe and Hub. They have just exceptionally good coffee. It is just over the top good. The paninis, y'all, are just so tasty, and they're kind of known for their paninis too. And then lastly, their Wi-Fi is just, it is fast. I go in there, upload some of these YouTube videos, y'all. It uploads in 10 minutes, whereas some other places it might take over an hour. They will give you the Wi-Fi password in there, just no questions asked. They hand you a little napkin with all the information on it, and you'll be good to go.
That's right, y'all. You stop into St. George's in Bermuda, you gotta hit the Frequency Cafe and Hub.
Next up, we've been to a lot of restaurants here so far, maybe like 12, but we've narrowed down our top 5 favorite ones since we've been in Bermuda. First up is gonna be Ascot's. Y'all, it's gonna be exquisite, over the top, amazing experience. The food is top notch, and we went there for Sean's birthday and it was just so good. Wasn't it, baby?
It was amazing, and y'all, it is a Wine Spectator award-winning restaurant multiple years in a row. Quality of the food is absolutely, positively on point, excellent, and their wine selection is probably the most extensive wine selection in the whole island of Bermuda, y'all.
Oh yeah. Next up, the Devil's Isle. That's also over in Hamilton, just like Ascot's. Y'all, it is so good. We went there. Sean got a lamb burger. I got a good old Creole burger. Y'all, they've got such good food. Great wine also. And it's one of those places where every time you walk by, you're gonna see tons of people sitting there. It's really good and worth going. Third, we've got La Trattoria, some of the best pizza we've ever had, also over in Hamilton. Y'all, that place had the best pizza. It was so good, and they have one of those brick ovens too.
That's right. It's supposed to be the only wood-fired brick oven on the whole island of Bermuda. And y'all, that pizza we had happened to be the pizza of the week, the specialty pizza of the week. And it was a steak pizza and had thin slices of steak. And y'all, I want to tell y'all that was some fine eating.
Number 4 on our top 5 restaurants that we've enjoyed since we've been here is going to be Harry's. Now, we went there and had drinks and appetizers before Sean's birthday, but the ambiance in the restaurant was just really great, and the appetizer that we had was, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Super cool place right on the harbor down at the marina, y'all. Excellent view, excellent drinks. Definitely check out Harry's if y'all are in downtown Hamilton, y'all.
And coming in, last but not least on our top 5 restaurants in Bermuda is gonna be Flanagan's. Now, this is down on Front Street, also sort of down by the water in Hamilton. So good. It's exactly what you would expect from an Irish pub.
That's right, y'all. Flanagan's is a good old traditional Irish pub. They got your good old Guinness beers, and they got my personal favorite, Jameson. They also, on their menu, got all the traditional Irish favorites, such as bangers and mash and all that good stuff, and they got my favorite, the fish and chips. Got to check out Flanagan's downtown Hamilton.
And one little tidbit that I wanted to mention, just a little pro tip for y'all, On almost every single bill that we've gotten at restaurants in Bermuda since we've been here, the gratuity was already added. Now, obviously, if you get above and beyond service, go ahead, tip them more, do whatever you want to do, but we just want to make you aware that gratuity has been included in 99% of all of our bills that we've gotten from restaurants. Now, after you've had a nice meal, if you're anything like us, you're going to be on the hunt for the best of the best ice cream. Since we've been in Bermuda, we've been to 3 different ice cream places, and only one of them stood out above and beyond all the rest. It is a must go if you are in Bermuda, and that's gonna be at the Meltdown.
That's right, y'all. They'll even spritz your ice cream with local Gosling's Black Seal rum, and it is absolutely fabulous.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. My 2 favorites that I got while we were here was the birthday cake and the cookies and cream. Now, baby, what if you're looking for wine and spirits to take back to your boat?
Well, the absolute best place that we found in the whole island of Bermuda to get your wine and spirits to take back to your boat is at a place a little bit off the beaten path, but it's well worth it. It's called Serpentine Liquors on Serpentine Road, y'all. And they've got an outstanding selection of all of your wines and liquors, and they have the very best prices that we found anywhere on the entire island. Super cheap compared to some of the other places. Definitely worth your time to go to Serpentine Liquors. Now, y'all might be wondering, after you get here, what's the best way to get around this here island of Bermuda?
Well, y'all might not believe this, but in the whole island of Bermuda, you cannot rent a car here unless you're a resident.
They don't allow non-residents to rent a car. Craziest thing I ever did see. However, you can rent a scooter, or you can rent a bike if you want. They also have taxis available, but they also have an excellent bus system here, y'all, and we used it extensively while we were here. Very economical. You can pay $5 a whack, or you can get you a book of 15 tickets for 37 bucks. Best bang for your buck, y'all.
Yeah, it ends up being less than $2.50 per ticket that way.
Get you all over the island. Just can't beat it. Now, there is one other option here in St. George's. There is a ferry, but now that ferry from St. George's, y'all, runs to the dockyard area in Hamilton, not to downtown. The dockyard area is where the main cruise ship terminal, where all the cruise ships come in, and then once you get there on the St. George's ferry, you have to get on another ferry to go from dockyard to downtown Hamilton. So it's a 2-step process, just like a good old country song, if you're gonna take the ferry and try to get to downtown Hamilton from St. George's, y'all.
Now, let's go ahead and talk about packages, because we received several here. We ordered a few things, got them shipped here, so let's talk about that.
If you get any packages shipped in here to Bermuda, you go through Bermuda Yacht Services, and there's a specific address you have to use, and we'll pop it here on the screen below. And it's very important that you include the name of your vessel and put yacht in transit. Now, when you put that yacht in transit designation on there, as long as it's stuff that's personal for your boat and parts for your boat or personal use items on your vessel, you're a yacht in transit, you won't pay any customs duties or fees.
Whoo, praise be.
However, Bermuda Yacht Services will charge you a small handling fee, but they are very reasonable.
Alright, y'all, that is going to be a wrap for today's video in our What You Need to Know series. If you haven't seen our other videos in this series, I'll go ahead and pop them up on the screen for you now, as well as link them in the description box below, so you may want to check those out if you're sailing into any of the areas that we've sailed into so far. If you plan on sailing into Bermuda, or if you've ever sailed into Bermuda, leave us a comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say, or if you're sailing here in the future. If you're not already subscribed, you may want to go ahead and subscribe, because we post 2 brand new videos every single week on Fridays and Sundays. Make sure you like this video if you found it helpful or if you enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, so that's a wrap. We'll see you next time on Sailing Telaroo.